Greetings and welcome to the Halloween edition of the Sliders Review. Alright, let's address the elephant in the room. I know it's not Halloween. Alright, that's long past. But when it came to my Halloween videos, I ran out of time and I couldn't upload everything I wanted to. So that's why I'm uploading them past Halloween. But if you stop and look at it like this, at some point in time, it's gonna be Halloween time again, October. So somebody eventually will stumble upon my videos and watch it around Halloween time. So yeah, and I'm here today to talk to you about Pet Sematary, the 2019 remake. So I decided to finally watch the remake of this. I've never seen the 1989 original movie. And I've never read the 1983 novel by that of Stephen King. But I've seen some of Stephen King's adaptations, both old and remakes, some good, some not. This was actually a really good movie in my opinion, but I don't have the original movie to compare. But from what I've seen, it's really good. And it's a whole lot better than the prequel movie Bloodline. See, the reason why I was never going to watch the 2019 movie is because I decided to watch the 2023 Pet Sematary Bloodline movie because it is a sequel slash prequel. I'm like, okay, well, if it's the prequel and everything, I might as well watch that to get caught up on some of the mythology and everything before I go watch the remake. I've never read the synopsis on Wikipedia or nothing like that, but I've always assumed that Pet Sematary was, well, you know, what it sounds like, a pet cemetery. Pets come alive, probably trying to kill people, something like that. At least that's what somebody told me many years ago, that, you know, like a pet comes alive, goes kind of crazy, stuff like that. And you've already seen like parodies of it on like cartoons and other shows and stuff like that. Even like, you know, what's his name, R.L. Stein's that cat episode that was similar to this and stuff like that, but way different. So I always assume, okay, it's just gonna be a bunch of pets running around trying to kill folks. Like, that'll be interesting horror type thing, you know. But then I watched Bloodline. Oh my God, nothing against that director, because it's like that person's first time. But that movie, you can tell, is like direct to streaming. Like, direct to streaming is the same thing like direct to DVD. Direct to DVD movies are not particularly all that good. Some are, some aren't. And like, the problem with direct to DVD movies is that they take what came out theatrically, they scramble a bunch of stuff together, and then they rush it without a good coherent story or a good direction. The pacing's weird, like, you know, they rushed the whole, like, you know, Pet Sematary, bringing stuff like to life, because in that, like, that person's already brought to life at the beginning of like the movie. And so I don't know, so I didn't know why that person was acting weird and all this other stuff. Basically, a lot of crap happens in that movie that is just kind of like, why is it happening? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand the conflict. I don't understand the possession. I don't understand nothing that was going on in that movie. And I feel bad for Pam Grier, David Duchovny, Samantha Mathis, and what is it? What's her name? Natalie, Allison Lid. I feel so bad for them. Like, I feel so bad because they deserve a better movie. They deserve a movie that had true focus and a true narrative. And because like so much crap just happened in Bloodline, I'm just like, what the heck am I watching? But this movie, okay, before I go into this next part, let me just say that I just now remember there are 3 things I think that are stupid in this movie. And I'll get to that at the end of this video. I am very pleased at this remake. I like the setting. I love the acting. I love the pacing of the movie. It really feels creepy and eerie and suspenseful, where the other movie just tried to give you jump scares, tried to put you in a situation, and you just had no idea why you was in that situation to begin with. And the Bloodline movies took away from, like, the grieving of like a loved one and trying to resurrect them. Whereas this one, you get a good sense of why Lewis did why he did. Like, you actually get to see Lewis interacting with his kid. You actually get to see Ellie, be as, like, as sweet as sugar and everything. And so you feel sad when she's taken away in the movie, and you feel that grief and that pain that Lewis and Rachel are feeling, and why they did what they did. Or why he did what he did, I should say. Now, this does differ from the source material of the novel, and it differs from that of the movie. Basically, instead of Gage being the one to get hit by a car and resurrected, it's now Ellie and everything. I don't mind that, but it would be nice to respect the source material. But I don't mind it because the Ellie actress is really good at acting and stuff. And, the Gage character, just so young, you know what I'm saying? So how much of a performance could he really give? And so, like, but this movie had, like, mixed reviews and stuff. Like I said before, I don't have the original to compare it. Maybe the original is a whole lot more spookier and stuff like that. But, like, I really did love what this movie brought to the table. And in my opinion, it's a very good remake, unlike most other, like, horror remakes and stuff. Other horror remakes are just cash grabs, and people always trying to up the ante by putting in as much blood and gore as they can without telling a coherent story. Here, you get that coherency. However, I will say I'm a little confused at Judd, because he is the primary character of Bloodline. So if he knew this cemetery is, like, haunted and all this other crap and possessed, because they disturbed Native American burial grounds, then why in the world would he even tell Lewis about this place? Like, you see him in the movies talking about, like, oh, I should never have done this, I should never have done this. Then why the heck did you do it after what you went through in the first movie? Like, I don't understand that. Also, in this movie, he says that his dog died and his dad took it to the cemetery and they had to put it down twice. I don't recall any of that in the prequel movie. His friend that he went to the military with, you know, he was the one resurrected and everything, and they had to put him down. But other than that, like, I don't know what the heck he's talking about, like a dog, unless he lied and everything about the dog really being like the friend and stuff. Also, what happened to the Native American family from the Bloodline movie? Where are they at in this movie? Because this movie really has no representation whatsoever. It is very white and everything. And you think, they would have added something in there, because you do see people of color, they're just in the background as, like, extras and stuff. And so you think if you're dealing with Native American burial grounds and this and that, you at least have, like, a Native American person to, like, probably talk you through something like that. But once again, like I said before, I've never read the books. I don't really know. But the prequel movie made it established that, Native American people are very prominent in that movie. They were just kind of like shoved in that movie. It felt like, though, it was just kind of like, I never understood their purpose. Even though one of the dudes served in the military with the other guy and they're no longer friends, I never understood the flow of Bloodline and everything. But in this one, at least it flows a whole lot better. And man, John Lithgow, man, I ain't seen that dude in forever. I've heard his voice in Once Upon a Time Wonderland, but I haven't seen this dude in forever. I remember 30 Rock from the Sun. The man is hilarious, and he is such a great actor. Unlike Bloodlines, you can tell this is a theatrical movie. The setting, the pacing, the lighting, this movie doesn't really rely on jump scares. It relies on technique, like when Ellie is possessed. My God, give it up to that little girl. Like, her acting was so good, especially when she was possessed. She had this weird tweaking kind of like moment in the movie where she acted very animated almost like a like sci-fi techno zombie, like the way she twitched and turned her head around. Like it reminded me of something. I can't remember what movie it was. It wasn't The Rain. It was something where somebody like head moved around this weird animated kind of zombie-ish kind of way. I can't remember the movie of it. Like the way she did that and the speed and everything, and the way like she was trying to like kill her mom and dad and everything. That was really like something. And Bloodline, it relies on jump scares and speeding stuff up to where you don't know what the world is happening. Like I never understood what the heck was happening in that movie. But here it is a clear vision. And like I said before, I'm not trying to rag on the Bloodline director. It's that person's first time directing. But, maybe, just maybe, that person should have started off small before they had a big movie like that, But these direct-to-streaming movies, they're just not doing it for me, especially direct-to-DVD movies. Like, I remember I saw the first Messenger movie. I don't remember much about it. I do remember liking that movie for some reason. But then I just recently watched The Messenger 2, Something Scarecrows. And that movie was terrible. Like, it was just terrible in every way there was. And it's just like, there are just some sequels that go to direct to DVD that are good, and there are just some that are mediocre, and then there are some that are just plain bad. And, it's quite a shame when a sequel has to get the DVD or streaming route. Because if they put it out theatrically and have a bigger budget and a better writer and this and that, it could be so much better. And I feel so bad for the people of Bloodline, man. Because those are some big star names for a lot of people. And they was in a mediocre movie. It was just a movie that was like, okay, let's retain the rights. Let's slap something together. Let's get some famous people that you recognize. And let's just call it a day. And that just doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work. But with this movie, basically what it is that like, Lewis, Rachel, they move into like a new town with that of Ellie and Gage. And they Ellie befriends this old man by the name of Judd, which is just kind of odd. Like why do kids do that? Like even kids in my neighborhood do that to be young. They always befriend the old person in the neighborhood. And it's just kind of weird. And then they just start going in their houses without permission, just like what Ellie does in this movie. I don't understand that. Then you're gonna have a situation that like my friends went through when I was younger, when they went into the house of a man that we thought was like a nice older man, but it turned out he was a nasty old man and spent a lot of years in jail. I think he got out sometime after I got out of college, or when I was in college. So that man was in there for about 20, 15 something years. Keep your eye on your kids, and more importantly, keep an eye on them when they run towards the road, because sadly that's what happened to Ellie. But before those events happened, Ellie's cat Church was a big old cat, by the way. It got ran over, and as Judd was gonna, have Lewis bury him in just a regular place, Judd did not want Ellie to experience the emotional pain of losing her pet because she loved him so much. So he suggests going to this other part of the cemetery. The other part of the cemetery looked kind of CGI-ish. It was kind of weird looking, but it did give you this otherworldly feeling. It felt like he was in a different dimension. And so they buried the cat there, and he tells the wife, not knowing of its special properties that it has. Next thing you know, as they're trying to explain to Ellie about the cat, she's like, oh, well, he's just like right there. And the cat looks very mangled. I'm so glad they went with a real cat instead of a like prosthetic or like a robotic prosthetic cat or like, CGI. The cat looked really mangled and possessed and demonic. I like that cat's acting. It looked great. I wish they could have went Resident Evil with like the zombie dogs, but hey, I'll take whatever I can because the cat is supposed to still look kind of cat-ish, you know what I'm saying? And so like the cat is just like bonkers evil, and I didn't understand. Like I assume if it scratches you or bites you, I assumed you become like possessed or something like that, similar to how Bloodlines was. But whatever, you know, whatever with them. Just screw that Bloodline. Don't watch that movie. Don't watch the Bloodline movie. Just don't watch it. If you got Paramount Plus and you like, oh, okay, well I can just watch it. No, don't watch it. Okay, just don't. Anyway, um, and so like he was gonna put the cat down, but decides not to. And so of course the cat comes back. Ellie sees it, gets hit by a big old like tanker truck. And it's really sad because you really feel for Ellie. She was dancing, she's sweet, she's kind, she likes to draw pictures. Oh, you know what? There is one thing, two things in this movie I do not like. I will get to that at the end. I completely forgot about it until now. Yes, there are two, three things in this movie I don't understand and I don't like and I think was stupid and pointless. But let me finish the Ellie part. So, of course, the family's upset, the wife and child leave, and then Lewis is just there, and you know what he's thinking. He's contemplating whether or not he should bring Ellie back to life because he loves his child, and nobody wants to see their child die or a family member of any kind. And so he knows Judd is probably going to stop him. So he drugs him. And well, he takes his daughter. And it's a very disturbing scene of him holding her body in his hands, him burying her and all this other stuff. And of course, she comes back. And she is just as creepy could be. But of course, it changes you when you come back. You're dealing with like magical powers that you don't understand. And she is scary. So scary that like the wife, and I'll get to the wife part later, but the whole parts I don't like, she comes back and Ellie's going on a killing spree. Like she's getting that butcher knife and she's just going at it. She kills the mom. She takes the mom to the cemetery to be resurrected. Then the dad is knowing now what he needs to do after she killed Judd and everything. Gay is in the car and like he's going to deal with that of his daughter, and it's really hard. She's struggling. He gets so close to killing her, but then we knew it was gonna come because the mom was in the cemetery. The mom comes back and kills that of the husband because he told his daughter, I just want us to be a family again. She's all like, we will be. And then the mom kills the dad, which I thought was just hilarious. And so then they start walking near the car so they can get the younger boy, and it fades to black. And I'm just like, oh my God, that poor little boy. But let me get to the parts I thought was stupid. Till this day, I still don't understand why certain people in this movie were seeing visions. When the husband, Lewis, was in the hospital because he's a doctor, there was this black kid who had, I guess got hit, something like that. I think his name is Victor. And he tried to save him. And then he kept seeing visions of Victor dead but alive. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't understand that. I don't know if it's in the source material, but I just don't understand why that's there. Then there is the mom and her sister whose body is contorted and twisted. And basically her twisted sister hates her other sister because her body's not twisted. Her sister dies in a dumbwaiter, and she keeps having these visions of her twisted sister and other stuff. And she's having visions of her sister when she's no longer living in town. I don't understand that. I guess they wanted to give the mom something to do other than just being a mom. But if you're gonna give the mom to do something, make it make sense. Make it make sense. That didn't make no sense to me whatsoever. It didn't make no sense why the son drew a weird dead person in his drawing. Just make it make sense. Just make it make sense. But other than that, I just love this movie. I think it's great. That wasn't that spooky. All right, well, I shall talk to y'all later. Bye.